overwhelming. Welcome back to the GSTL. And so far, Axiom-Acer continuing to seem pretty overwhelming as it is, taking the first win here. And a lot of people are expecting that Innovation will take a quick second in a TBT.
Yeah, at the same time, the Terran versus Terran is the matchup where Innovation is definitely at his weakest. He has only a 50% win ratio there. Has probably been working quite a lot on the Terran versus Terran since he was attending BlizzCon, of course, with the WCS Grand Finals, and a lot of Terran players and Protoss were qualified, so these were the two matchups where he probably focused on quite a bit. So Innovation definitely in a position where he's the favorite player just because he's Innovation, but Hack has not the sample size of him, but he has a pretty decent win ratio with victories over people like Boltful, for example. So it's a match where Hack could win, and that's going to be quite interesting to see. Fruitland being the map also adds a bit of a touch there.
Yeah, Fruitland being the map makes it even more nuts.
Very juicy.
Very juicy indeed. I think that we will see Bio versus Bio because of the Lemons, and because the Lemons can give you so many extra Marauders when you have, I mean, about 5 Marauders extra to be approximate whenever you get those Lemons. So if you think about it that way, you want to grab those Lemons as early as possible. They can also make a new CC for you. And it's a map that's pretty wide open, pretty big, a little bit tougher to actually use Siege Sinks on. And Innovation, like you said before, he seems a little bit tired or a little bit off. Like he looked a little bit frustrated about something or other. Maybe he got some bad news. I don't know what's going on, but he definitely, like when you look at Hack's face in the booth and you look at Innovation's face, there's a huge difference between the two faces. It looks like Hack is excited and ready to go, and it looks like Innovation is like, well, actually everything I just said, you were taking away, but oh god. Hack actually does not look ready to go anymore. Innovation looks fine.
You know, Hart actually looks a little bit like he was rejected by Olivia, who fancies Trang. She was much closer to him, and Hart is sitting a little bit far to the side, so it was like, there's this weird tension. We probably have like an Axiom-Acer triangle.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure that it's going to be on the front page of a magazine somewhere on a magazine rack near the checkout line. What's really going on?
It would be such a nice picture. You know, you see the three of them, and like Crank and Olivia sit next to each other, and then a little bit farther back you see actually like Hart sitting there with a really like with a frowny face. That would be exactly the headline that you need on an esports boulevard paper. But that's of course not what's going on here, so jokes aside, we are jumping into game number 2 of the Terran vs. Terran. Innovation up against Hack here at the GSTL, brought to you by Colin Hall. And starting to the top right, we have this StarTale player, the second one today. It's the Terran that we all know and love as
StarTale, Hack.
His nickname in Korean means nuclear missile.
Yeah, it's not actually because he likes hackers or anything like that, or he likes to hack at things or anything like that.
Starting at the bottom left, though, we have a player whose ID for a long time was Bogus. Now he's known as
Acer Innovation.
And kind of everyone made fun of him when he changed his ID from Bogus to Innovation. Everybody was like, oh my god, what did you just do? Like,
it was so like from bad to worse, basically. Yeah.
There was not a single person who said like, yeah, I like his new ID, but now everyone is like, yeah, that's him. And everyone accepted that because he is the best in the world, and if you're the best in the world or one of the best in the world, then you can call yourself Innovation.
Yeah,
he could have called himself Perfection and nobody would have minded.
He could have called himself Perfect, and everyone would find that ID's already taken, but you know, as it is, it's funny that he was pretty good when he was Bogus. A lot of people were saying really good things about him, but when he changed his ID to Innovation, that's when he like solidified himself as the best player in the world. And for that reason, I think most people will, in maybe a year or two, forget that he was even once called Bogus.
I liked that idea a lot, though. I really liked it. Bogus was a fun idea for him.
By the way, we have gas first at identical timings for both players here, so it is going to be a fast tech to factory, and it's going to be, at least starting things out here, the opposite of what I expected. And with the new Banshee patch, where Banshees actually, it's not that new anymore, but it's relatively recent, where Banshees get their cloak upgrade a little bit cheaper, we could see Banshee versus Banshee. The Widowmine nerf does not really affect Widowmine drops too much, but we don't really see that in TBT very often anyways. Wow, he tries to block this, and he might actually get it. Nope.
If you actually look at Innovation's record against Zerg, there's a long list of matches where he was victorious. You see the same thing when you look at his Protoss match list. It's just absolute insanity with 70 to 80% win ratios in both matchups. He's dominant. But then you look at his TVTs, and it's just this patchwork match list where he has a loss, a victory, and he has a 50% win ratio here. And that's definitely very subpar to the other matchup that he plays. Whereas Hack, with a lot less matches played, has currently a 66% win ratio compared to the 50% that Innovation has, but with a smaller sample size. On the other hand, if you defeat Paul with a 2-1, then you definitely show that you are capable of taking down strong opponents. So I feel this could be one of the closest matches that we have today.
Yeah. That's very well said, and one of the closest matches we've seen from Innovation in a long time. He only lost one match so far, is 90% win ratio in GSTL matches. And this is the only season he's played, so I don't want to say this season in particular because it's the only season he's played. And I mean, he's basically just trying to make sure he doesn't get any more losses and continue that reputation. Now the switches are here, and we have a Hellion drop on one side from Hack, and on the other side, Innovation going for the Banshee build. Actually, no! He goes Raven in anticipation of a Banshee opening from his opponent, and that's not going to be very useful here.
Yeah, not for now, and it's going to be... I mean, the key point is how much damage can Hack actually do with the build that he has. He has 2 Hellions already on the way, and the Medivac is going to join them very soon, and then the drop in the main base will occur. So how much damage can he actually dish out? That's the biggest question at this point. And for Innovation, it's of course going to be a little bit sad that he's not up against the Banshee here. That's what he wanted. But even with a Marine here, he doesn't see anything. He sees only the Hellion, but he has no idea about what exactly is coming, and most importantly of all things, from which angle.
Yeah, and he's not making a lot of units right now. He's going to defend this with a Raven and 5 Marines only. Fat chance that's going to go well. Here comes the drop, heading right into his base, and Innovation build order-wise in a tough spot, in the perfect position for him to drop. He knows the blind spot here behind the gas, and here we go. Going to want to drop an auto turret. Innovation, that's all he's got.
He drops the auto turret. 3 of the SCVs are already down, 4 actually. And he's still looking for a spot to attack. He still has the Marines there. And that is very unfortunate now for the Terran player, for Axiom-Acer. The add-on is being attacked. He needs to do something about that.
And you know what? Actually, the Tech Lab is basically just tanking a bunch of damage right now.
Going down.
He will lose it. And he will actually lose the Viking as well if he doesn't start to micro it. Oh, he barely gets it away.
Yeah, that was pretty close, but also for the Medivac, and he just drops here. The Viking is moving in, and with 2 more shots, he can easily take that down, but has to be careful, of course. The Marines are already in position, and now Viking versus Viking, and this is something where he can't just... Whoa! Actually, he is able to get away.
Yeah, that was close. But Innovation, actually, with that auto turret defense, actually doing it a little bit better than I thought. Losing the add-on for the tank is kind of annoying. It seems that he wants to go into Biotank, which is, like I said, the more common style for the map. But he's got to be careful. He's really relying on this one siege tank on the high ground to defend here. And I don't think Hack can actually do anything more for it right now. I mean, with that one siege tank there, especially with the decreased attack period, getting any closer is going to be virtually impossible. And he lost that Medivac, so there's no way for him to get any further into the main base.
Yeah. And in regards to bases, talking about that, we have also the completed command center now for Innovation, whereas Hack just started his own, as pointed out. So in this particular scenario now, we have still a lead in Harvesters for Innovation, actually. So he's the one who's currently pushing out, also the lead in overall army supply. Yeah. Oh, actually, it's exactly the other. It's exactly the opposite. From what I just said. Yeah. The worker lead for Hack and the army lead for Innovation. My bad. Sorry, guys.
It can always be a little bit confusing because Innovation's name is still the top right. If you look at the screen.
What confused me more is that we have a mosquito that is currently really attacking me.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I heard that you swatting at something. I got a little bit scared for a second because I'm kind of like.
No, I'm not trying to hit you. Believe me, you would feel that. I was trying to hit that. I think I
thought I said something wrong. I thought you were trying to something like, don't talk about that wolf. I'm like, no, what did I say? I mean, I said like the Raven is doing this, like
just backhanding you, like. No, it's like I think the mosquito is dead. I think I killed it.
Okay, excellent. Dead mosquitoes are always a good thing.
The only good mosquito is a dead mosquito.
You know, like, I mean, do mosquitoes really contribute anything to the ecosystem?
I do not think so.
I mean, let's think about this. Should we actually get rid of mosquitoes? Like, we need to have a debate. There needs to be somebody who needs to debate.
Someone has to tell the mosquitoes that they should leave. Here we go, though. The Vikings on the other hand.
Secret missile on the siege tank. And he actually just goes for it here. And he backs the Marines into the secret missile. Why would you do that? that.
Awesome by Innovation, and Hack with a missed micro here. He dominated the air battle, but then he didn't pay attention to the Marines. The Seeker missile taking out so many units, and suddenly Innovation on the doorsteps of Hack, just moving up that ramp, sieging up the tanks, threatening high power ground vision with the medivac. This is awesome for him.
Yeah, and now he doesn't need the medevac anymore because he's walking in the front door and he can actually target that siege tank down.
Oh god, the SCVs might be too late. I think they are too late. The siege tank goes.
No! Okay,
So
so close there. The Viking on the low ground helping out, then going into high ground mode. No
Double
micro on the
kill.
second. Double kill there, indeed. I don't know what that auto turret was for. I guess it was deployed during that last fight with the Seeker missile. But Innovation is inside the main base, and all he has to do now is rally units. He has a lead in Harvesters mining from 2 bases to the 1, and this is as aggressive as TVT can possibly get.
Yeah, he's mining from 2 bases against 1. He's nearly taking out the barracks, and those siege tanks with the damage. Ultra kill right there. Taking down a couple of SCVs as well. Finally, the Terran player for StarTale putting an end to that. But the problem for him is that the damage has already been done. With this much mining time lost, with this many harvesters lost, he is in such a dire spot.
And the siege tank decreased attack period actually makes such a big difference. I'm watching this, and you know, I watched a lot of games. I played on the test server and stuff with that siege tank. When I watch a TVT, which is not what I've been playing, you can really see how much of a difference it makes with both players having tanks shooting at each other and how fast the battles end up going. Just from a tiny change, it makes an impact.
Definitely. I mean, with the increased firing rate here for them, they are a lot more valuable right now in the matchup again, and that's exactly what Blizzard wanted. Wanted to have that mix again. But here we go. Once more, Innovation trying to make sure that Hack doesn't get that second base up, sacrificing quite a bit of army for that.
Yeah, this is actually a huge overextension. They're almost pulling an MMA here with how overextending he goes here. That auto turret gets one last kill before it falls. Worker count still massively in favor of Innovation. He has the better upgrades coming out. He's got Stim halfway down, and once he has that, he may decide to try to do some big drops in the main base because he'll have the medevacs to support it this time.
Yeah, Hack is not just trying to stabilize. He put his expansion down at the natural once again. He's still behind in the harvest account, and he's of course going to do his best to catch up. But we have a massive, massive lead in mineral income for Innovation at this point in time. In regards to the army value, as you could see, they are still quite even, but Innovation is a little bit ahead of his opponent. The Stim upgrade for him is about to be completed, and he's just in a great position. He has the map control. He could also go for the lemons at this point.
Every time we see these Viking battles, it's so crazy because you really have to be, you either commit or you don't, and if you just for a second decide that you think you might want to try to run away and you lose one shot, then you lose your Viking, so that's always funny. You don't know if there's a Marine on the other side. So Stim is done, and he's got a ton of medevacs. By a ton, I think he has 4, and he can drop he can drop Marines, and that's a lot of medevacs. I mean, that's in numbers of possible Marines drop. That's 32.
Are you sure?
I am 100% sure about this one.
Okay.
He's actually going to get counter dropped though, as it is, and he has no defense here. Not even a single Marine left at home.
Yeah, and that's definitely becoming a problem. He needs to wait until he has more units built, but now he's trying to move into that. Is he moving into the tank line? It looks like he's jumping on top of the siege.
He's going to do it.
There are only 2 Marines to guard them, and that is not going to be enough.
Wow, and he breaks the line with it. He has Stim. Don't forget, the SCV is a little bit too late here. The defense at home is solid.
Innovation is just going for it. He's going for the GG moves here. Once again, applying pressure to that natural, and if Hack has to lift again, he might as well type GG right away. He cannot afford to lose the income from the second base.
Yep, counter drop here, shut down, and you know the command center's under fire. He's not mining, he has to lift it, and he may lose it if the Marines try to stim in. Of course, the one siege thing on the high ground, he's a bit reluctant. Combat shields for Innovation about to finish, and that's, you know, Stim is generally in TVT a much better upgrade to have. He tries to break through with that combat shield.
Wow, and the siege tanks, they get their hits off, and Innovation in such a great position. 12 army supply for Hack. That's not going to cut it. 69 for Innovation, and he makes his way up the ramp. GG! And game number 2 ends in favor of Axiom-Acer. They're taking the 2-0 lead once more.
And, I mean, Innovation is unstoppable in Team League, it feels like. Now 10-1. And that Alicia face, very comical one. For him, this is just business as usual. Sit in the booth, do my thing, beat my opponent. Hack does not look happy.
Yeah, and if there were any confusion, his thing is winning.
Yeah, that is his thing. It's not losing, it's not tying.
It's not trying or anything.
It's not trying, like it's not, you know, getting stressed out. It's not getting frustrated. It's not thinking hard about what he would do if he did lose, or what he would do when he does win, because he's already got that figured out. He just puts his jacket on
just
and leaves
another
the
day
booth.
at the office.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I can't believe they made me come here and beat another player, this time in a totally different matchup. Well, I have to beat Zergs, Terrans, and Protosses. And I gotta say, I've said this probably like 5 or 6 times by now, but Acer got one of the best pickups they could ever have, picking this guy up out of Seoul. I mean, bam, he sits down in the booth and he is taking names left and right.
Whatever they pay him, it's not enough.
That's exactly what, that was the exact thing I was going to say that Innovation is probably thinking right now, sitting in the booth, like going, oh man, are they going to start paying me per Zerg Town of Pross defeated?
Well, he has another victory that puts him 10-1 in the current GSTL season in the individual rankings, and I mean, there's nobody who can catch up to him at this point. We have a 2-0 lead for Axiom-Acer, and the next match is going to be another mirror match. We have Life coming up against Impact now, and Life, the player who the last time let StarTale down quite a bit.
Yeah, he let them down twice in one match, and that's... You know, you lose your match, and I believe his first one was a ZVZ, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that one also a Protoss versus Zerg?
He played 2 Pro. He lost against Seed first, and then in the final he lost against Hurricane.
Yeah, so he lost. Okay, so he lost both matches. In the first one, you lose, you're like, that's frustrating. It's hard to judge who he's going to play against in the Ace match, and he plays against Protoss again and loses. So that's the situation where he's got to be feeling like, wow, they called on me, they let me twice, and I failed both times.
And Impact just played a ZVZ yesterday. He played a ZVZ against Hiva, and he lost the game in the end. But there was this point in the game where Hiva actually thought, well, I just killed 50 supply. There's, by the way, the Mosquito. It's still alive.
I see him.
Where?
He's right next to your left hand. He's asking for it. You missed him again. He just flew through the camera. But
all right, we're going to get it at some point.
Yeah, I'll take care of it during the break. I'm actually a master at killing mosquitoes.
You are?
At my old house, like right before I moved, I had a mosquito problem.
I didn't have a single mosquito in this
In my new house, I have no mosquitoes. It's very nice. But like I'm telling you, I was killing 6 a night. I was killing in my sleep. I woke up
annoying.
I woke up, I got dead mosquito bites all around me. I'm like, this is just what I do.
Coming back to the Zerg versus Zerg point, Hiva, after killing 50 supply, catching Impact a little bit out of guard, thought he had the game won and started to throw down a couple of hatches and was like, dude, there's nothing you can do anymore. And Impact showed him that there was actually a lot he could do. He lost it in the end, but he made a very nice comeback. And that kind of means that Life has to be careful here. Impact definitely someone that you have to pay attention to. But Life has the support of his girlfriend today, who's in the studio.
Yep. He's also got a little bit of hair sticking up at the top of his head. See that?
Yeah, his girlfriend should probably go over that.
If he knew, man. If he watches this vlog, he's going to be like, oh my god, did my hair look like that the whole time? That's when you have your hair like that sometime for the whole day, and then you've been just walking around, and suddenly you go to the bathroom for whatever reason, you know, even if you just want to watch trains, you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, nobody told me that my hair looks ridiculous. And most people don't notice this type of thing. Like, I bet most people at home wouldn't have noticed it if I hadn't said anything, but now...
With the hair?
Yeah.
I do not think a lot of people care.
I'm just saying,
maybe the girls that are watching right now. Maybe his girlfriend.
Maybe, you know, other fellow hair enthusiasts might actually take notice to that.
Girlfriend in the studio gives Life +3 on pressure.
By the way,
wants to make a good impression.
The StarTale coach, his hair has grown out long enough. He's rocking the politician haircut. He looks like he could actually run for office with that haircut.
I was actually saying that when I met Life's girlfriend for the first time. He had to look a long time, I think, because Life is not the tallest guy in the world. He's like so right now he's
no, that's Yao Ming actually. But.
Yeah. But the thing is that actually Life on a girl that is actually that's a lot smaller than her. She's a lot smaller than he is. They're a very, very cute couple. Here we have Impact on the other hand, and he is the player for Axiom-Acer in another Zerg versus Zerg. He probably wanted to play a different matchup. I'm not sure about that, but like I feel he wanted to show his skills here.
If you practice the same matchup twice, I guess you could feel okay about it. He's not rocking the jacket that he wore yesterday. That looked pretty cool.
Yeah, he's not pipping up today. I saw that Reddit thread. I saw that. Big shout out.
Yeah, he's got like the nice autumn colors going with that Axiom-Acer jacket or jersey though. I like it.
I liked also the nickname that they gave him, Pimpact. That was pretty cool.
That was it works very nicely.
You could also say he pulled a pimp act.
I mean, it was.
Come on, at least
true.
give me an A for effort here.
A for effort. I've had worse. You know I have.
me too. Alright guys, Life is going up against Impact. We have Zerg versus Zerg, our third match here at the GSTL and StarTale. They need a win and they need it now. Life has to come through for the team. Can he do it? Or will Impact put the score up to a 3-0 for Axiom-Acer? So we're going to find out right now in the GSTL with Pelleco.